with that being said, we jam packed, baby. We been lit all day,
All day.
all day. Coach, do you want G Sports? Do you want to introduce
Yeah,
the
man.
next?
Yeah. I'll take the honors, man. Coach Lay J, man. UL Raging Cajuns receiver slash offensive coordinator, man. Coach, I appreciate you coming on the show. I know y'all going through camp. You got a busy schedule. I want to say I really appreciate you taking a little 15 minutes out your schedule today to come on, man, and kind of talk about UL's, y'all success in the past and what y'all plan on doing going forward.
Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all having me on, bro. It's my honor, obviously, to be here and hang out with you guys and kind of talk through some of this stuff. You guys got me?
Yep.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, good, man. Good. So, yeah, like you said, man, we're right in the middle of it. Day 6 was yesterday. We're giving the guys a little bit of off day today, mandatory 1 day off a week. So, had some film session and stuff this morning, corrections, things like that. A little treatment, get them back right, and then we'll be back at it tomorrow full time. So, it's been good though, man.
Coach, man, I gotta start off by asking you, with so much success that you guys have had since you first got at UL, and trying to keep that culture going since Coach Billy Napier has departed and moved on to the University of Florida, and Coach Dez has taken over as head coach. You've been upgraded to offensive coordinator. Some things have kind of changed down there in Lafayette, but you got a lot of components still in place. Some really, really good players still left on that roster. What's going to have to happen, for this season and so forth to keep that culture going, to keep that success going, and try to keep being one of the top teams in the Sun Belt?
Yeah, man. The thing I would tell you is the more things change, the more they stay the same. You know what I'm saying, for us. So our culture's been built. Like you said, we got a lot of great players in this building. They know what it was like when we got here in 18 and the steps that needed to be taken to improve who we were, the way we did our business, the way we played, our brand of ball. None of that stuff's going to change. And our guys are, holding each other accountable, man. They show up every day. They work really hard. There'll be some things that are different in terms of the way we maybe run through the offense through certain players and our schematics on defense, because we got a new coordinator there too. But there are a lot of parts in the building that were here when this thing started from the ground floor.
Yep.
Right.
And the thing I would tell you, man, is, they know it's a proven way of doing it, and there's no reason to change it, right?
Right.
We got the nation's longest winning streak. We won more games in the last 3 years, with the exception of Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, and us. I mean, and Cincinnati. That's the 5 teams at the top now. We're all in the same kind of number of wins in the last 3 seasons. When you start talking about Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Cincinnati, and us, that's elite company. So we know the system works. Coach Dez going to put his personal touches on it, but like I said, the more things change, the more they stay the same. We're going to keep grinding the way we've been grinding on it.
Yep. Yeah. Now, Coach, this is Coach Hank. Question for you: With you being a position coach last year, now being the leadership of the whole offense, how does, for any young coaches out there, how does the mentality have to shift a little bit to now you're not just focused on your gift, your crew, you worry about the whole offense, and how does the preparation, from just word, like I said again, maximizing a certain concept to call, play calling and setting up plays and all that stuff happen?
Right. I think the blessing for me is that we've already done it on the high school level. And I know sometimes these young coaches, they want to jump right into college and whatever, but the situations of a game are the same in college as they are in high school, right? You got to play third medium, you got to play third and long, you got to play goal zone, you got to play red zone. So, sometimes I tell these young guys in here, your problem is you ain't never had to call plays.
Right.
You got all these ideas, right? You think but until you're the one holding the sheet and the play clock's running and the game's on the line and all those things, it's easy to say, we should have did, right? But that changes it a little bit when you are the guy behind the call sheet, right?
Right.
Now, that'll be a little bit different here too, because, Coach Dez is going to be the primary play caller, but we are going to set things up very similar to what we've always done, and everybody's got their own particular area of the game plan that we're responsible for. So, there's a lot to it, right? I think the biggest thing for me is watching film now, right? I'm not just watching the wideouts,
Right.
individually, right? I'm taking notes on, right, how we're playing on the O line, what blitzes are giving us protection problems in protection, the running backs' footwork in the run game, their protection issues, like all the things you got to take in the big picture, right, and see the whole thing, and kind of encompass it all. How does the scheme fit the personnel we have now, right? I said this the other day to somebody, right? Like in the past, we've got 3 running backs currently on NFL rosters.
Yep.
Right.
Right. We had 2 of our best ones transfer out in the portal. Okay. That's 5 losses. Not good. That's,
Correct.
I mean, it is what it is, right? So the centerpiece of our team in the past maybe has been the O-line and the running backs. Like right now, I think the centerpiece is the wide receiver room.
Yep.
So how do we feature those guys and create scenarios where, right? And then I think for a young coach, that's always like, what do I have and how can I feature it? And then it always comes back to the situations of the game, which is something, like I said, my advantage is I had to do it for 6 years in high school and call every play and set up every day. So this is really not new for me.
Right.
Right. Coach, also picking on what's going on. Obviously, UL has created this culture going on down there for several years
Right.
now. And it's become not just a Louisiana thing, but it's become a nationwide thing. But also, let's talk about recruiting. You're also in charge. You're one of the recruiting coordinators. How it's going to be a little different this year. Obviously, not having Billy Napier there, but getting kids to still buy in to come into UL. And what's going on?
Yeah, I think again, like what I would say is the more things change, the more they stay the same. Our systems for recruiting are exactly the same. The bottom line here is we got a Power 5 facility. If you walk in our building, every kid that we get to come here, they all say the same thing. Coach, I didn't know it was going to be like this.
Yep.
I just left this Power 5. I just left that Power 5. I was here. I was there. I was at Purdue. I was at Vanderbilt. I was at Ole Miss. Like Coach, y'all stuff is as nice as anything, right? So we have a Power 5 facility. We have full cost of attendance, right? If you come to our place as a freshman, you stay in Legacy Suites, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, fully furnished apartment. Plus, we giving you $1,000 a month every month you're in school, cost of attendance. That's Power 5 living.
Yep.
You move off campus, we giving you $2,000 a month. That's Power 5 living. Nutritionist, weight room, support staff, training room, like it's Power 5 living. So
I don't see why Southeastern ain't competing now, but we dead in the water. Dead.
yeah, so hey man, I was in that Southern for a while, right? And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's they got good players everywhere, right? And those guys are gonna play good, I know, when they come down here. But I'm in the recruiting aspect of it.
Right.
I'm not talking about players or how the outcome of the game is gonna go on September 3rd. In the recruiting aspect of it, it's apples and oranges. You know what I'm saying? And what we have here is Power 5 living. And I've always said that, right? It's Power 5 living at a Group of 5 school, right? So, and our AD, man, he sees it in Power 5 glasses, like period. So everything he's doing is to position us when these realignments keep coming. You're going to see us continually be in position to improve and move up in conferences because of our mindset to push the Power 5 envelope.
Big 12?
I definitely see it. I honestly thought y'all was going to be in that realignment to get in that Big 12, but maybe that might happen a little down the line.
What I would tell you, man, is that's the ultimate goal, right? That's the ultimate goal is to keep pushing and be a Big 12 team in the SEC footprint. That would be the goal, right? And then if it doesn't happen, and our AD has said this time and time again to me, if we never get the invite, we're going to position ourselves too, and if we don't, we'll have the best stuff in Group of 5 in the country.
Yep,
that is.
So either way, it's a win.
Yep,
you know what I'm saying? It's a win for us. It's a win for the kids in Louisiana that maybe don't get that LSU offer.
Yep.
Right? What do you need to leave the state for?
Yep.
You got everything you need right there. So we're trying to be, we're never going to be LSU. I'm good with that. Right, but we can be Oklahoma State to Oklahoma.
Right.
We can be Michigan State to Michigan, Michigan to Michigan State, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, right.
You got to see what I'm saying, right?
I like that mindset, Coach. I'm very, very familiar with y'all roster, and I talk to a lot of college coaches around the country, and when you talk about talented rooms like that receiver room that you got. It's super, super talented.
Yep.
And just like y'all got a quarterback battle going on with Ben Woolrich and Chandler Fields and Lance LeJean,
Correct.
and even throw Zion Chris into that mix. But with that receiver room that you got and that quarterback room, how hard is it, man, to be able to maintain those egos and be able to, give the playing time out accordingly when you have so many talented players in the room and keep everybody happy?
Yeah, I mean, you know about this firsthand, having experience with our roster and watching us play and those things in the past. That's the hardest part, man. You want to reward guys for doing the right thing. They go to class, they live right, they do right, they work hard, they practice. And you got a deep room, and then you got 3 guys playing at a position.
Right.
And they all deserve to play, right?
Right.
But then instead of a kid getting to play 50 plays, now he only gets to play 20 plays.
Right.
And it's just hard, man. But at the same time, they're all deserving. And if they weren't, they wouldn't be out there.
Yep.
So that's the hardest part about juggling a deep room.
It's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have, right? And the best thing about it is these dudes are close, right? There's really they all want the ball, man. It's the nature of position, right? They all want the ball, but they don't bicker, they don't fuss, they pull for each other, they try to make each other better, and they've made it easy for me because they ain't trying to get into all that drama. They just want to play, and they're trying to do a good job every day, and so it's hard on me, but it's a good problem to have. You know what I mean?
And I think winning, coach.
Like what I was gonna say, like you look at it on paper. Like last year, we played as many as 5 guys at the Z position.
Right.
And all right, one guy's got 26 catches, one guy's got 32, one guy's got 16, and you go, oh, they ain't really producing. Well, the Z position produced 95 catches last year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which, if that was one dude, he'd be an All-American.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We just got it spread over 4 or 5 guys. Right. We had 3 guys at X, man. That all 3 of them, I think, last year are gonna play in the NFL.
Right.
Now, I honestly believe that.
Right.
So, how do you not get 3 guys that got NFL ability? How do you not put them on the field?
Right.
You got to put them on the field. Is it fair? Maybe not. But then you'd have an NFL guy sitting on the sideline.
Yep.
So, I mean, you got to do something.
You got to do something.
It's just hard, man. It's hard.
And I think when you're winning the way y'all been winning since y'all got to UL, I think that helps a lot too. Because if you're getting your head beaten every week and guys are not getting the snap that they want or might not have the statistic that they want, it might be more of a problem.
It becomes a media thing now. Kids get on Twitter.
And there's two things I figured out in life. The more money I got, the happier my wife is. 1. Number 2, the more you win, everything's good.
Yep.
Everything's good. That's 2 things I know that are absolute. So
no doubt about it.
Now, Coach Tim, I want to ask this question because it was actually brought upon by our previous guest that G had asked was, what happens? I just want to know, like, from a college standpoint, what happens when you get like a highly touted kid in, like 4-star, 5-star, what have you, has all the ability in the world, on high school level, but then they get in that college room and it just doesn't work out. It just doesn't work out. Then vice versa, what happens today? What's the mindset of that walk on come out, and then now 2 springs later, like he's the best thing going. Like, how do you manage that from a college standpoint? Because y'all have way more time than we at the high school level. Well, don't have to explain to you. Coming from the high school level, because that's the one thing that you hear, on the recruiting trail. Hey, coach, you get 20 hours with him, we get 42. So
right.
We can fix this. Or like, yeah, coach, I'm telling you, he's not coach. Like we get 42 with him. We trust us, okay?
That's right. Well, I think the walk-ons are easy because if them dudes are serious about it and they show up here and walk on, they're usually hungry, so they're usually trying to prove something. So those dudes are a little bit easier to manage because they're always trying to get to the front of the line. They're gonna do whatever it takes, right? Sometimes. The guy that's been a really good player his whole life, that's been in the front of the line his whole life, right? The guy that maybe's been coddled by coaches coming up a little bit because, well, we don't want you to be hurt on Friday, so you ain't got to practice all that much. Take these reps and that's it. The way we practice, that ain't really going to work out over here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So those are a little bit harder with the guys that are highly recruited sometimes because they think they're coming in to start, and then they walk in the room and then they go, man, they got 3 dudes in here look just like me.
Yep.
That already know the system, that already know how we practice, that already know what it's like to go against a college corner that's got fundamentals and technique, not some dude that'll, you're out there on Friday, he's trying to press you. Number one, he don't have the ability to do it on Friday. Number 2, he don't have the technique, right? That some of these 3rd, 4th year college corners got after they've studied the elite corners in the game, all the things that we are able to provide them. And trust me when I'm saying, I'm not saying the coaching is better. I'm saying they have more resources here to better study what the elite player does. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Right.
And in that, sometimes those young guys, those elite recruited young guys get discouraged, right? And hell, us as college coaches, we probably too hard on them young guys sometimes too at the same time, right? Mm-hmm. Because we expect them to be elite and they're a little bit behind and they don't understand how everything works yet. And we're trying to get them caught up because we know, hey man, that ability should be, here. And this other stuff is keeping them down here.
Yep. We
got to try to close that gap. And I'm, me personally, I'm not as always patient as I need to be with some of them dudes. You know what I mean? So it's all complicated, bro. And at the end of the day, this is a people business. It's about connecting with people, trying to produce results. And we're just going to try to keep doing that the best we know how,
Yep.
Yeah, that's an excellent answer. Sometimes, everybody needs to have that time. Everyone grows at a different pace, and not everybody fits.
Right.
Immediately. Some people come in and you think there's a fit, and it's really not a fit. But I got a question for you, Coach. This is not even football related. But when you're not coaching football, and when you're not inside those walls and sitting down watching film and things like that, what does a coach like yourself do? Like, when you're just not just – how do you regress?
Face?
How do you
Did you
regress?
see that face?
How do he do?
He just
that don't happen much. I'm gonna tell you that. No, man. Really.
How do you unwind? How do you get back to saying, how do you refresh yourself?
Man, some dudes like fish. Some dudes play golf. Some dudes hunt.
Of course.
I don't do any of that stuff. That stuff, I ain't spending money on all that stuff. That stuff's expensive, right? I might take a little trip. Like me and my wife spent 8 days in Mexico this summer.
Right.
We just kind of laid around the beach, hung out, stuff like that. I try to go to dinner with her once a week, even during the season. Like I find like during the season, it's usually Wednesday or Thursday nights. And then during the off season, I try to do it a couple times a week just because of all the time I miss. Right. So really for me, like I like good food. I like good drinks, so I'm going trying to find that.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That's really kind of what I do, right? So
you a bourbon guy, coach, or you a clear guy? I'm about to see where I put you at.
I'd be lying if I had to pick. Because I like it all.
Me and you both.
It depends what I'm in, where I'm at. Like they got a little place in town here called Social. They got a great bourbon menu. They got great steaks.
Right.
So tonight on my off night, that's where you're gonna find me.
Right.
Kind of in that little spot.
Listen.
But a little bit, man. A little bit of everything.
Right.
Coach, multiculture.
That's right.
Coach Lazy, man, my last question for you, man, before I let you go. A lot of those receivers in that room have nothing but good things to say about you. Even Kyron Lacy, who moved on to LSU, they talked about how, you connected with them on a personal level, and, that went a long way. And I think that's why you don't have all the drama in that room with so much talent. But my question to you is, what's Coach Lejay's end game? What's your end game before you get ready to hang it up and say, I'm done coaching? What's your ultimate goal in football?
Well, first, going to those guys, right? What I always tell my guys is, I have one son. I'm gonna treat you like my son. Okay, you might not like what I have to say sometimes, right? But it's gonna be the truth, and you probably gonna need to hear it if I say it. You know what I mean? So I take the same approach with them I take with my own. Is it hard, right? Is it tough love sometimes? Yeah, absolutely. But at the end of the day, I think they all realize that I have their best interest in mind, and so I think it alleviates some of all that other drama,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Sometimes I wish I was more patient. I wasn't as hard on them, but at the end of the day, they know I love them. And in Kyron's case, Kyron's no longer with us, but Kyron and I text often. Actually, it's been about 4 or 5 days since we hit each other up. So, but like Mother's Day, he sent me a message to tell my wife, and then had some things to say, stuff like that, man. So when you get stuff like that, it's well worth it.
Yep.
The end game for me, man, I used to spend a lot of time trying to calculate, being a head coach, when I became a head coach, all those things. And, the more I look at this thing, man, when I'm in it, I'm in it. And I really enjoy that. But when I get away and I'm with my wife or with my family or with whoever, I like to turn it off.
Yep.
And the older I've gone, the longer I've gone, I just don't ever feel like them dudes ever get to turn it off. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So, will I say that that's never a possibility? No, I can't say that, because if the right opportunity came along and I was in the middle of it, I would have to seriously consider it. And there's been a couple other places that have called and asked if I would be interested, and I'm really not at those places.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so maybe that's the end goal one day, but right now, I really like being on the grind, man. I like being out recruiting. I like being in a room with kids. I like coaching the position, right? If you could take all the stuff off of it and I could just take a group of players at wideout and just, if I could run a training facility and just really like feet up, boots on the ground and train dudes, I would do that, man. Because I like watching a dude come in with no skill, just talent, right? And then you start developing skills, and then you just see it start to improve, and then the game film clicks, and it's like, all right, there we go. Like, one of the greatest moments for me is when, we're in 3 wide receivers on the field, and the play starts, and like you watch it, and it's like a drill tape in one spot, drill tape in the second spot, drill tape in the third. Like, it's like bam, bam, bam.
Right.
All 3 dudes are putting a clinic tape together.
Poetry in motion.
Like, Coach, I'm getting the chills right now talking about it.
Right.
Yeah,
When,
I know that.
when I got 3 dudes putting drill tape out there, that's what I like. Right. So, more than dealing with the media, more than dealing with budgets, more than dealing with, the booster club. I just want to coach dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? That's really what I like to do. So,
Right.
Coach, I got one quick question before you go. It's something I've been doing all year. Coach, it's 3rd and 5. 17 seconds left on the game.
okay.
You on the 5-yard line. You 3-by-1. You 3-by-1.
I like 3-by-1.
You got a balanced box, but your best fade runner is the 1. What you doing to win the championship, Coach?
Sunbelt championship.
All right, I'll probably in 3-by-1. I'm gonna motion the back out there to make sure that it is man. All right, I'm gonna go toy right, bullet, sucker, X fade. That's gonna be the play. And if it's the dude and you like it, that's what I tell the quarterbacks. If it's yes, it's yes. Throw it. If not, then we'll play 2 front line throws and we got a back line runner. We'll throw it back there. But if we like it, we're gonna throw it.
You wouldn't roll out to your trips and have like a mini flood?
No. Then you shrink the field. You shrink the field.
You
got to make them. That's why you got to bullet the running back too. You bullet the running back. You create the 4-man surface over there.
That.
Then you get a front line, and a back line runner, and you still got your one-on-one. If they match all that, the box empties, then you should better walk in with the quarterback anyway. So if they lose their rush lane,
Right.
The reason why I asked you, because the more and more coaches I've been asking, they, for some odd reason, like I don't know if it was a college thing or not, they like shrinking the field in the red zone because because most of the quarterbacks now are mobile, and so they like that quarterback, if he gets in and he gets, because it's congestion down there, if he gets hit,
right.
it's not a guy coming from the field, and you're not at risk of losing your guy. So is it like either that short throw right there to the pylon, or he could get in?
I just don't. I'm not a huge fan of rolling like in college football. If I get outside the hash, I got less than 20 yards of field for them to defend.
Right.
So if I put 3 receivers front line, back line, and a crosser, they're all defending just that 20-yard space back there.
Right.
And then everybody's moving to where you're saying, okay, but ain't there, just run it in. Well, you just brought them all over there, too.
You just brought them over there.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about.
Hey, I agree. As a defensive
What
guy,
I'm talking about.
Hey,
I got one on this pylon. I got one in the middle of the field. I got one on the hash. I got a running back standing out there by the sideline, and I got a dude on the back line. So you got to defend all 53 in the third. Plus, if you get out your rush lanes and I see that goal line and I'm Levi Lewis, I'm about to walk in.
Yeah, yeah.
About to walk in. So
yeah.
hey,
that's my play call. That's what I'm going with.
Hey, every time I hear offensive guy talking about they gonna roll out in the goal line, I'm like, thank you. As a defensive guy, I'm like, thank you. I could just run cover 2 now.
That's right. Just shrink the field. I don't like shrinking the field, man. I don't like shrinking the field.
Coach
I do like running the quarterback now, so I ain't opposed to that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I ain't opposed to that.
Right,
So,
right. Coach, man, I appreciate you coming on FanView, man. Got to get you back on in the near future. Man, I just want to let you know, man, I appreciate what you do for young people and how you impact, you know, not only your receiver room, but those guys in that facility, in that building.
Right.
You know, and I'm a full supporter of what you're doing and that UL program, man, and good luck to y'all in this upcoming season.
Yeah, guy, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. Anytime we can make it work, I'll be glad to come back on. We got a lot of good things to talk about here, bro. Like I said, man, this is Power 5 living in Group of 5 school, longest winning streak in the country. We currently got 14 dudes in the NFL on rosters. So everything that anybody wants to do from Louisiana, you can do it from right here in Lafayette, man. So we're excited to keep doing what we've been doing and try to take the next step. And the next step for us is New Year's 6, baby. So that's what we're trying to do.
It is, no doubt. Appreciate you, Coach.
Come check us
Yes,
out at
sir.
St.
Thank
Helena.
y'all,
We
man.
got somebody for you.
Listen, Power 5 living over there, man.